Geeta, what are the international ramifications of it? How are you picking this up? Because, of course, the bigger question will remain, how should India respond? How should India react? How does this have repercussions in India and for the government to be watching it? Tell us through all the details of that.
Well, there is no official recognition of Taliban government in Afghanistan, but Pooja, there is absolute legitimacy that the United States has accorded to the Taliban by allowing them to form a government, by allowing them the conversation, and by allowing them to take over Afghanistan, not just Kabul, now also the resistance forces, and also taking on all those who are resisting the Taliban, even in the streets of Kabul and Herat. We saw visuals of women who were protesting for their rights, and in return, rather than listening to them, they were beaten up. So it is all being done under the approval of the United States of America. Secretary of State Antony Blinken yesterday said that the Taliban will not be able to stand another round of economic sanctions if they were to violate. But explain violate to me if all the clauses of the Doha agreement have already been violated, if the Taliban are already in violation. They're still speaking of something that can be done in the future, but in terms of really taking some action and stopping the bloodshed and violence, we haven't seen anything from the international community yet, apart from a few resolutions and a few statements of intent. We do know that the United Nations representative met with Mullah Baradar and said that they are going to continue helping and assisting Afghanistan. But their assistance, and in what form is the assistance going to come, is something we'll have to wait and see. Humanitarian crisis at large, not just in border areas, all those who fled their homes and went to Panjshir seeking some sort of cover from the resistance forces now are falling prey to the Taliban. So the situation is dire and the bloodshed will have to stop. It is for the international community to reach out to the Taliban and not just Ahmad Massoud.
Geeta, you're making a very important point that, yes, you're telling about these significant names and all of this, remember, while the humanitarian crisis is on, and how does the United Nations or other international organizations respond is important to understand. I want to now take you through some of the key personalities, like Geeta was also talking about. Take a look at this. Home province of one of the greatest guerrilla leaders of the 20th century, Ahmad Shah Massoud. Literally a legendary figure. Former Vice President of Afghanistan, Amrullah Saleh as well, they are known to have lived there. Panjshir is known as basically the Valley of Five Lions. It's located 150 kilometers north of Kabul and close to the Hindu Kush Mountains. With a population of about 173,000, most of the inhabitants belong to the Tajik ethnic group. The valley never fell to the Taliban during the 1990s, nor was it conquered by Soviets earlier in the 1980s, and because of its location, which is extremely strategic in nature, makes it a natural fortress as well. Now, the only access point to Panjshir is through a narrow passage, and that passage is created by a river known as the Panjshir River. All roads to the valley are closed to outsiders. According to some reports, there are about 8,000 to 10,000 anti-Taliban fighters for now in Panjshir. So what are the challenges then? How do these fighters that are there in Panjshir, how do they really battle it out? The biggest concern, Taliban will put up guards around Panjshir and stop the supply of food and essentials. When they cut that off, as per official report, Panjshir Valley has enough food and medical supplies for now, even to last till the next winter season. But the Tajik fighters need bigger weapons to fight the Taliban terrorists, which the Ghani administration has never provided them. And much of this, all of this that you see as a strategic location to understand, does not have running water or electricity. Most residents rely on generators for a few hours every day. But under the soil of Panjshir, there is a huge stock of emeralds that has never been touched yet. In the medieval period, just taking you through for a historical perspective, Panjshir was famous for silver mining. Till 1985, crystals up to 190 carats have been found there. So if mining infrastructure is prepared, then the area will develop very fast. This is just to help you understand precisely what is the historical geographical perspective of it. Let's get you now a ground update. I'm going across now to Sai Kiran. Sai Kiran, because you've often brought forth reports of a digital analytical nature with so many other ground reports that have also come in. How do you look at the current status here? Do you think it is precisely the geographical location that we have been talking about, that it has still not been occupied, but again, it's only a matter of time?
Yes, I mean, like Abhishek Balla correctly pointed out. Of course, we do not have any visual confirmations yet of any possible, Pakistan support for the Taliban in, conquering Panjshir. But there have been numerous on-ground reports saying that there has been a lot of tactical and logistical support from the Pakistan ISI. It also makes a lot of sense when the DG of the ISI is in Kabul. His entire team is there. There's a lot of discussions going on in terms of conquering Panjshir, because like people have said, it's never been done before. And secondly, it's also important to note something that we've also reported in India today before. It's the PR angle of Taliban, because they get messages across social media in a very rapid pace, and even if they are prior to conquering Panjshir, they put out messages saying
what you're telling us is very important. It's about the timing for now.